All right, we back on gaming. All right, and I want to say this real quick. The reason I'm not giving you AKAs today is the fact that I'm addressing a journalist, or should I say an editor from Kotaku. The last time I addressed a journalist and I did AKAs, all right, beforehand, they tried to discredit me by saying, oh, he's yelling, it's too aggressive, so they didn't even get through the video last time I addressed it. You guys and girls did, ladies and gentlemen. You did, all right? And you understood what I was saying. However, they did not want to hear it. So today, this is a response video to Miss Alyssa Mercante, okay? This is what she said. She said, games media layoffs means less space for professional, veteran voices with reporting experience and more space for middle-aged, reactionary idiots just desperate to make money off of their social media accounts. It's a dangerous path to continue traveling down. Now, before I get into more she's saying, I understand what she's trying to say. She's targeting people like Mark Curran. And as you guys know and girls know, I have targeted him too. Because I am tired of seeing this culture war garbage, all right, being in our community. Now, with that said, when I did go after Curran and many others, there was people who saying, no, you're just complaining to be complaining. And which made no sense to me due to the fact that I showed you how bigoted some of them are and how racist some of them are. But that wasn't enough. You were willing to overlook that for the fact that they're sitting here on the front lines, all right, on the front lines, talking about this culture war stuff and what's woke and what's not. And you shouldn't buy it because it's woke and whatever. I'm tired of seeing it. These are from adults, mind you. All right? Adults. No one's acting like an adult. But let's move on, all right? Let's keep going. She says, Google constantly changing its rules for ranking private equity demanding a number of, I have to understand this is very small, all right? Demanding a number go up that is beholden to its ever shifting metrics while cutting staff and demanding more work from less people, the monetization of rage bait, and the severe decline of media literacy. Now look, you want to talk about rage bait? Kotaku always raised baits. All right, this is nothing new. All right, so as far as I'm concerned, these journalists do it as well. And as far, let's say, it's getting to a point now where everyone has their fair share in this game. Nobody's innocent. Okay, everyone has dirt on their hands. All right, let's move on. Now, she says, but sure, yes, absolute idiots, complete pea-brain dodos with hundreds of thousands of teenage boys following them who tweet flat out lies, spew hate, and refer to this industry as in the midst of some sort of civil war. Now, I'm going to stop right there, okay? I'm going to stop because these are ridiculous. I'm going to show you today how everybody, and I mean everybody on both sides, and I say both sides because they do act like it's a civil war, all right? But everyone has their fair share in this. So here's the proof, Miss Mercante. Okay? Now, this is the first one. And this is all Kotaku, alright? Souls games are great, except for the sexist messages from some players. Now, you have to understand that you're going to have, and in this community, you're going to have your racists, you're going to have your bigots, you're going to have your sexists. You're going to see these things, alright? But it doesn't mean that it's, a lot of the community, all right? So when you say some sexist players, you need to start naming names if that's the case, all right? Or showing screenshots if that's the case. I'm not trying to hear you just want to write an article and just say it, all right? Because some of the messages in these Souls games are hilarious. Or some of them try to deceive you, you know what I mean? Because it says, oh yeah, go ahead and jump, you'll be fine. And then you jump and you die. You have to be very careful on what messages that you read, and you have to use your own gut feeling on this if it's real or not, all right, if it's trustworthy. So I'm not trying to hear all of a sudden, oh, sexist messages, because they're not everywhere. They're not, all right? Let's keep moving, shall we? Now, 3 words I said to the man I defeated in Gears of War that I'll never say again. It says, and it's very small. I want to make sure this is Patricia Hernandez. Y'all should know by now, all right? It says, we may take this from links, because they're getting monetized for this, but this is what she said. I raped you. Now, for her, the article talks about how she was a rape survivor, all right, and that she'll never say it again. However, you have to understand, these are the type of things that I talk about. They're making these articles to divide and conquer, all right? And I understand in this case, this isn't a divide. It's not. Gamers do still use it, all right? They do. Just to let you know that. All right, and while you feel it's wrong, whatever, they're still going to use the same rhetoric. All right, so I'm just saying you can't really get upset when gamers say that. The gamers have said worse. Oh my God, I'm telling you, Xbox 360 era, Xbox era, when you played Call of Duty, man, you want to talk about worse? I'm just saying, and I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm not saying that, but you have to understand that you can't get so triggered by these things right away. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? Should killing female gamers in online games be considered rape? Come on. Come on now. So now you can't kill, in a game because it will be considered rape. This is what I mean. 1 minute people are saying, I raped you. It escalates every time. Oh, I raped you. Now can it be considered rape to kill him? And it's bullshit. And I'm showing you this from veteran journalists that you talk about that have been laid off. This is years, over the years of what's been said by Kotuku. So if you want to talk about how they're respectable journalists, I have to disagree. I do. Because there's a lot more and a lot worse that I'm going to show you today. All right? Let's move on, because you got to be kidding me that because you kill somebody, you shoot somebody in a first-person shooter, and it automatically means you got raped or you're a rapist. That's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. All right? But let's move on, shall we? The Resident Evil 4 remake totally failed Ashley Graham. And this article talks about how Ashley Graham is not feminist enough. This is what I mean. You talk about how this is supposed to be some type of civil war, all right, and you say it's on their end, yet these articles are also on your end. So it's absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, everyone's got dirt on their hands. Nobody is innocent in this case, and the fact that you turned around and started calling people pea-brained and all that stuff, that doesn't help your case any. It doesn't. Because like I said, you need to take accountability for these things as well. Let's move on, shall we? Bayonetta creator shares his 2 cents, Kamiya, all right? Or should I say, yeah, that's how it's pronounced, right? Kamiya, not Kamiya, Kamiya. All right, says he shares his 2 cents on fan outrage over Bayonetta 3's ending. Look, there was not fan outrage, all right? You had a couple people who were upset because the way it ends, all right? Some people tried to label her a gay icon, all right? And some people was like, no, that's not true, all right? And that was the discussion. Discussion, not outrage. See, it's the words that you use that, that really, and this is what I mean, rage baiting. There's no outrage. But let's move on, shall we? Now, this is what I talk about with veteran journalists, all right? I'm sure y'all can see it right now. That time we got to see Mario's dick. That's some knockdown, breakthrough journalism right there. All from Kotuku. See, so when they get laid off, you have to understand why. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is uncalled for. It is. And you can't say it's not. There's no reason to make an article about this. But let's move on, all right? Because I'm telling you, this is absolutely ridiculous. Street Fighter 6, that's right, announced that Ryu, or Ryu, depending on how you say it, all right, is wearing sandals. And it says, they know what they were doing, and I put it like this. It sounds like you're trying to, and the article really just goes into it. It's almost like a foot fetish type thing. Why does it matter that Ryu is wearing sandals? That's not an article. That doesn't matter. But these are from the veteran journalists that you're talking about. It gets worse. I'm telling you, people, it gets worse. Let's move on, shall we? All right, it gets worse. People think they can see Ryu's dick in Street Fighter 6 reveal. And it says Capcom knows what they were doing. Now, look. Some people, all right, these are the degenerates, I'll say. However, there's no reason to make an article about this. None. It's like you were cherry picking and found the dumbest thing to find that you can sit here and make an article on. Veteran journalists. Where is the journalistic integrity here? You should be above this. But let's move on to more Kotaku articles. We are now entering Animal Crossing butt plug stage of 2020. Butt plugs. This is where we're at. Animal Crossing butt plugs. Veteran journalists. I'm going to keep going, but this goes to show you that you sit here and you make these juvenile articles, but you want the respect of real journalism. This is ridiculous. This is nothing that the community needs. This is why so-called veteran journalists are being laid off, okay? Nobody wants culture wars in their articles. Nobody wants rage bait in their articles. Nobody wants to read this stuff. Nobody. It's junk. Literally junk. But let's move on. Okay, Kotaku, here's the thing. Here's how to draw real boobies. Boobies. Not breasts like an adult or titties. All right? Boobies. Now, I'll put it like this. This is ridiculous that you would stoop this low to sit here and do this. Like I said, all Kotaku. There is the call coming from inside the house. And it goes to show you that it comes down to Kotaku writers. And you have to make sure that these things, you have to say, look, you know what? This is uncalled for. We need to tighten up the ship. Steer it back on course. And right now, Kotaku's not doing that. They're still making stupid articles. All right? However, your walkthrough articles or or warning gamers of certain things, I got no problem with. Not at all. But you have to understand that these type of articles don't get you anywhere. There's no merit to them. Let's move on. How I achieve greatness on a Sonic the Hedgehog themed bed. This article is about having sex on a Sonic bed. Kotaku, why is this a thing? Again, I'm trying to figure out where the journalistic integrity is. You can't sit here and defend all journalists, which I understand. You got your cool kids club. That's what it is. But there's no reason that these articles should exist at all. All right, let's move on to the next one. Sexual arousal doesn't cause bloody noses, says medical science. Now look, we all know that. We know that. Stop playing. Stop playing around. That's an anime thing. That's an embellished thing. All right? You don't need an article to say that. You really don't. But it's ridiculous that, again, you're cherry picking. You're finding the dumbest things to talk about. Like I said, no integrity. No integrity. There's more. Oh, there's more. Yeah. All right? Halo's Infinite Battle Pass is totally fine, you guys. Stop. The Battle Pass is not okay. Look, people are getting tired of having to go through these things that companies decide to try and get your money. So microtransactions, DLC, which we've seen with Mortal Kombat, and I've talked about it, how ridiculous that they're trying to give you DLC when they spend all that money advertising on the Sphere in Las Vegas. I showed you that, okay? But there's more, okay? They're tired of DLC. They're tired of microtransactions. They're tired of loot boxes. They're tired of, battle passes or season passes in some of these cases, like Tekken. You have to stop kidding me that this is something that should be done. You cannot be okay with this at all. You have to be able to look at these articles and check them and be like, no, we're not doing this. This is ridiculous. Find something more concrete. But no, there's more. Street Fighter V player delivers epic pop-off after crushing rival. Now, first off, there's no such thing as an epic pop-off. And you also have to understand that the fighting game community are tired of these things. Yet you covered it as if it was something newsworthy. The pop-offs get ridiculous. We just saw a guy not too long ago, as CEO, he popped off, he picked up a chair and threw it. We just saw that. Pop-offs are not cool. They're not. They're stupid. And it goes to show you how kids are. From adults. From adults. Okay? I understand you want to get up and cheer and everything. That's fine. But to go extreme with these things and then cover it, say, oh, it's so epic. There's nothing epic about it. At all. It's stupid. It's immature. Let's move on. New Alan Wake's update is for all you babies out there. Now, this article is about, and first off, the header's misleading, all right? As you can see, it's been community noted, was it on Twitter? It goes to show you, this article is about helping the disabled. That's what it is. So to say, all you babies out there, you're poking the bear. You're trying to divide people. And you can't say that this isn't real. This is very current. Alan Wake 2. Current. So I'm not trying to hear all of a sudden that, this is okay. And that, we can just, make fun of gamers or, sit here and just, like I said before, poke the bear. There's no reason. And then you wonder why rage bait, again, you wonder why people come after Kotaku or don't read Kotaku. Let's move on. Everything we're learning about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom from the leaks. Now look, as you can see, it's blurred out. You know what I mean? It's like I said, you don't want to see the link. Because this is what happened when Nintendo blacklisted them, and then they went on to spoil the game with the leaks. As like some type of fuck you. Ridiculous. You're spoiling games, and you don't take any credit for this type of stuff. Or should I say, your journalists they don't take any credit. I shouldn't say take any credit. I should say take any responsibility. Be more adult. But we're not seeing that. Now let's move on to the next one, which is the last one. Straight white male, the lowest difficulty setting there is. Again, rage baiting, dividing. This is why so many people are mad. This is why they look at us, people of color, when you put them in a game and say, oh, this is woke. Because there's no white people. Oh, they're taking the leads. Oh, they're taking over. They want us gone. This is what happens when you try this. Or when you do this. Now look, I understand that you have gone through a lot of harassment. I get that. Some of these guys are ridiculous. They take it to an extreme, and they're grown men doing this. They have no shame. Just like your journalists, they have no shame. It's time to stop the fighting. Because as far as I'm concerned, everyone's having the war words. All right? And then when someone gets challenged to a fight, because let's be honest here, it goes too far, some people just need to be punched. They do. All right? And some people, they poke the bear on both sides. So I understand her position about people spreading lies or whatever. I understand her position. All right? Or should I say, Alyssa, your position. But you have contributed to this. It's absolutely wrong. Everybody needs to grow up. Everyone. This goes nowhere. And if you want it to stop, someone's got to be the example to step up. Now, I put it like this. After this video, if you want to, we can work together. We can try and stop this. I'm not saying you got to put me on staff at Kotaku or I'm just looking for a job. No. Between you and I, we can have a talk. and think about the ways that this can be stopped. Because as far as I'm concerned, not too long ago, I saw a guy get mad at a statue in Legacy of Kain Remaster, called a statue woke, and says, I'm not buying the game. That's how extreme it has become. And it's time for it to be over. And I understand people are saying things because they want that money, and Elon did the worst thing you can do by monetizing your tweets. Worst thing you could do. So now people are just saying things just for engagement. But some of these people really believe that this is some type of war, and it's not. You have to understand, the majority of gamers just want to be left alone. They don't want to be preached to. They don't want to be hit over the head with feminism or people of color. They just want to play their games. Some people went after Harada and Tekken and was like, oh, you're going woke because there's so many people from different countries. Like, come on. It's like they've never played a fighting game. The first one, think about Street Fighter, The World Warrior, where you went all the way around the world to fight. It's the same thing with Tekken. You have people from around the world to fight in the Iron Fist tournament. But yet, it was considered woke. And of course, when Harada, talked to that guy who said it was woke, he said, did you ever play the game? He's like, because there's no bikinis and all this stuff. He's like, yeah, there's bikinis in the game. But the guy never played the game and attacked Harada. This is what I mean. These people, and I wonder, who's playing games? Y'all got time to talk about, all this culture war stuff, but no time to play games. No one wants to, people argue all day. No one wants to do that. Nobody wants to fight, okay? No one wants to do that. So as far as I'm concerned, why aren't you playing against each other then? And I'm not saying you got to play fighting games, people. I'm saying they can play something like Dead by Daylight or something. Why are you not playing games? Because that's what this is about. When you have beef with somebody, you settle it on the sticks. That's what you do. But I don't see this. I see a bunch of people not playing games and constantly every day talking about what's woke and what's not. Ridiculous. It's time to grow up. And that goes for everybody who also said when I attacked those people in another video, you need to grow up too. You can't sit here and overlook those things because Vidya. And Alyssa, you can't overlook what your journalists are doing, you know what I mean? Because they need a hot headline so that people can click on it. Click bait. No. It's time to restore the feelings. Anyways, people, I'm done for the day. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. Something like this comes my way again, I'll be talking about it. I'm out.